Hey, how's it going, everyone? Sinister, the gamer section, bringing you another interview with a developer. Of course, I'm your host, Sinister. Um, Not gonna, hold y'all up. I'm gonna let our guest introduce himself.
Hello there, my name is Paulo. I'm from Brazil, and I am the game designer and lead programmer of Sonic Brawlers.
Okay. Yeah. Tell us, like, for those out there, like, how it is, like, in your country right now.
How things are in my country right now?
Yeah.
Well, it's really hot. It's raining a lot, and there's a president that is killing everybody, basically.
Yeah.
Except for that, gaming is extremely expensive, and that's it.
All right.
That's Brazil in a nutshell right now.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Appreciate the like, Marcelo. And how you doing? And hope you enjoyed the interview. Well, other than that, let's go ahead and get started. First questions off, like, what got you into gaming?
Well, when I was 6 or 7 years old, I got a Master System that was a portable Game Gear, and there was Sonic 1 in the memory of the game. And that's it. Stopped. I have played my whole life. Video games are basically major part of who I am, even.
Well, that's kind of cool. Like, yeah, I kind of started, gaming because of my brother. And so, man, basically around 5 years old, that's when I got my love of gaming. And of course, when he retired from gaming, I kind of kept it going.
Nice.
Mhm. But other than that, like, do you have like any favorite games growing up, or just our favorite gaming genres?
Favorite games: Hollow Knight, Sonic 3 and Knuckles, and Shiny Force 2 from Sega Genesis. This is by far one of my favorite RPG games.
Hmm.
XCOM 2 is another game that I love. I love Metroidvanias and one another roguelikes.
Oh, okay. So, like, do you like prefer PC or console or both?
Definitely PC. That's where I play, that's where I work, and overall, it's a better platform to play games, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, 'cause for me, I like Bruce Lee. I like that do like not limit to one thing. I like consoles and PC, but yeah, because usually my PC, I do like indie games, things like that. But of course, I saw your game that you're working on. Like, to those out there, like you want to introduce like the project that you're working on.
Oh, sure. I'm working a fun game called Sonic Brawlers. It's a beaten up fun game where you play with characters like Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, Amy Rose, and you beat the crap out of badniks and other robots. Basically, it's a passion project that I had ever since I have played Sonic Battle in Game Boy Advanced. And even though that was a really good game, it was also flawed and limited. And I have always wanted to see the franchise go into another genres other than platforming. And I always thought that making a good beat 'em up game would be perfect for Sonic. And a few months ago, a big friend of mine he suggested me, "Hey, you have that old project, and we should revive it, maybe to participate on Sage 2022." So that's my goal. I have started working on January. My plans are for a public release in August 2022 to participate on Sage, gather some visibility both for the game and both for me as a game designer, maybe to assemble a team and keep ahead with my commercial projects.
Well, that's cool to go. Oh yeah, like from the beginning of the project, like how many years ago, like when this project came about, like a few years ago. What?
The first prototype is from 2012. To be honest, it
Wow.
was a mod of a game called Little Fighters 2. Uh, that was a indie game, a beaten up engine, very limited but also very funny. And there was a huge modding community. And I thought, this is where I will start. This is where my project will begin. There were halts, there were problems, and life challenged a lot. And I have ditched the project more than once. And this year I have decided that that's it. We'll finish a good demo and release it to the public.
Yeah, how you doing, Miranda? And he says, "You go, boy."
No, you go, boy. He's a big friend of mine.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, showing the love. Yeah, like I saw little clips of your on your YouTube channel. Like how the game looks like. Based on I saw Sonic. I think the last one I looked at was like Amy Rose.
Yep.
Seeing her in action. It's like the next one you're trying to finish up.
I have prototypes of Tails and Knuckles, and these will be the 4 playable characters in the public demo: Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, and Amy. And that's it. I have decided to work on Amy because she has a very unique gameplay style where she has a directional attack system where she not only uses a combo attacks you usually see in beaten ups, but she's also capable of swinging her hammer, her pickle hammer in different directions and thus creating different effects in combat. So I have decided to work her before I come back to Tails and Knuckles and finish them to have time to polish them before the release.
Okay, cool. So we got another comment in here. Brazil Mugen team. He basically said, "Hey, buddy, good luck."
This is the greatest game designer in all Brazil. His name
Okay.
is Douglas Baldan, also known as the Illusionista, and you can also find his work on Brazil Mugentin. Uh, this is my mentor. He always helped me. He always gave me advice. This is an incredible person that should have a lot more fans.
Well, that's cool. It's always good to have connections out there and the support out there. So yeah, that's all good. Basically, like, what was the first thing you worked on? Like, was it Sonic himself, and then did the layouts and stuff like that?
Initially, I have worked on the core mechanics of the game. There are some systems that were not presented in the original engine that I'm working on. That's called Open Bore.
Okay.
And I have basically worked on the parry system that all characters will have and the shared synergies. I will even publish a new video soon showing Amy's synergies, but each character will react differently with the shards that are artificial crystals in the game that give special powers and change the character's moveset when you have them equipped. And that was the main differential in the game. That's made the game more than a simply beat the bots and move on.
Right.
And that also what took more time to be programmed, implemented, and balanced mostly.
Okay, that's cool. Oh yeah, it's like to the folks out there, like when he means like open bore, it's basically open beats of rage. Like for those in the
Exactly.
back, for those in the back that don't know what it means. So I was like, yeah. As far as like stages goes, like do you plan like to add more stages, like something from the main games, or probably something new?
The public demo release will have at least 2 stages that will be Green Hill Zone and Flying Battery Zone.
Okay.
But the final game is planned to have at least 9 stages with one secret special stage. And all of them, as I am using original assets from the games,
No.
will come from the original games too. So we'll have Lava Reef Zone, Sandopolis, we'll have Titanic Monarch from Sonic Mania,
Uh-huh.
and many others. But basically, there will be 90 stages, at least 8 special secret stages, like bonus stages where we will unlock the Chaos Emeralds as a special upgrade in the game. And if you gather all 7 Chaos Emeralds, you also achieve a secret final stage.
Okay. Okay. When do you plan on releasing the demo?
August 2022, probably 19 to 20 August.
Okay. Yeah, you heard it there, folks. Um, but other than this game, do you like have like in the future probably have like other games that you want to plan on working on after doing this one?
I'm also working on a commercial project called Fist Squad. That's another beaten up games focused on superhumans that are a group of mercenaries, and with a system of special attacks that also makes them more unique than the usual beaten up game. There is a special twist in the game where you are capable of changing your attacks mid game in a loadout system that is vaguely based on Risk of Rain 2, one of my favorite roguelikes, that you can change your character's moveset before each run.
Well, that's cool. Okay, hey, yeah, how you doing, Skella boy? And he's saying I'm here too. Good luck, my friend. Hey, you getting all the love today. But oh yeah, because like one thing I forgot to mention. Oh, for back for Sonic Brawl, it's like can you give us like what the plot is about? Like a little tidbit. Because I know you.
basically, basically, Eggman developed a new energy source called the Chaos Shards, that are artificial crystals that gather the chaos energy from the Chaos Emeralds and built an army of robots with it. Now he's trying to do whatever he does every week and conquer the world. The main twist here is that at the mid of the game, the robots will riot and Eggman will lose control over them. And then he will also be a playable character too. Eggman will be playable. And you need to discover who's behind this riot of Eggman's robots and beat the shit out of it in the end.
Oh, okay. Let's look. That's going on. Kano got bars. He got a question for you. It's like, so would this game be released on PC or consoles?
As it is a fun game, non-official fun game yet, maybe Sega will be watching and I may be lucky.
Mhm.
But as this is a non-official fun game, this is mostly be on PC, and there are also a planned Android release planned. So it will be possible to play on your phone.
Okay. I like PC. Like would it be on Steam or Epic Store or GOG on any of those platforms?
The game will be available to download on Game Jolt.
Mhm.
That's a portal of indie and fun games.
Yeah.
And probably also be featured on the Sage 2022. That's an annual event of Sonic Fun Games that gathers a lot of visibility and is also a portal for download.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, because Game of Joe, because I played the other like previous like open board games. Like I mean, it's really fun and a lot of variety and stuff, things like that. So yeah, that's really a good site for for a game like yours. So,
Yeah,
but
it is. Also, there's an incredible fun game that I would like to recommend. That's called Avengers United Battle Force. That's also on Game Jolt, and it's awesome game. I really recommend you all to play.
okay, you got a follow up question from Kano. And it says, what engine is being used for this game?"
I am using Open Gear War, also known as Open Bits of Rage.
Uh-huh.
That's an engine focused on 2.5D beaten up games.
Yeah.
Currently being developed by Demo Keisuke and a team of contributors that you can access freely. That's open source on chronocrash.com.
Okay. Say like this game succeed, like do you ever like plan on doing a sequel to it or a follow or you think you're just gonna move on to like a new project?
Um, I will obviously I'll try to focus on my commercial projects. That's my main goal here is to be gathering visibility and form a team of my own. But about the project itself, I don't have plans of making sequels, but I have plans to make expansions. So I will be always updating it with new content, new characters, new stages, and new game modes, like the Mania mode,
Okay.
where instead of having 2 or 4 or 5 lives,
Uh-huh.
you will gather a team of playable characters, and whenever you die, that character you were playing with is gone, and you have to pick the next.
Mhm.
And when your team is empty, that's
Uh-huh.
game over.
Oh, okay. Oh, like do you do like a daily log, like patch updates, like like checking for bugs, everything? Like it's like, oh, you feel like, oh, this needs tweaking here, and oh, this thing here needs to be fixed. Like constantly updating, and make sure the game doesn't crash on you and things like that.
Sure. There's always room for improvement, and not only uh, making patches for fixing bugs and stuff, but I will always try to make the game as balanced as possible, and I will always try to make little tweaks in the quality of life for the game for the player, and at least twice a year make a bigger update with new content to make the community excited, motivated, interested.
All right. All right, Kano, you you getting going with the questions. Like his next one is like, will this game become the best indie game of the year?
Probably the second best.
No. All right.
The best will be the next one that I will work on, whatever it will be.
Okay. As far as this one go, like for Sonic Bros, will there be like multiple paths? Like, because usually like people like to play like beat 'em ups like this. Usually has like multiple paths, like good for replay value. That things like that.
The game will have procedural bosses, which means that certain stages will have a randomly decided boss on each run. And yeah, there will be multiple paths in the game where we'll be able to choose where path we're gonna take, each one with its own challenge system. For example, Mystic Cave Zone from Sonic 2 will
Uh-huh.
be featuring the full game, and it will be the main gimmick in that area will be illusionary platforms that you need to check before jumping to avoid the risk of falling in a hole or on the spikes. In the other hand, there will be oil ocean zone, which the main gimmick will be basically burning oil drips that might burn the whole stage. So I will leave to the player the decision of what kind of challenge he wants to take on.
Okay.
If it be a platforming challenge or a pacing challenge or a army challenge, maybe a big group of whole robots in a certain stage.
Okay.
And that's it. The game will have multiple paths, even though I don't have plans to have multiple endings. The
Okay.
game will have only two endings, the bad one where you don't gather all seven Chaos Emeralds, and the good one where you unlock the final secret stage, beat the final secret boss, and have the good ending.
Well, that was gonna be one of my questions, but you already answered it. But yeah, anybody in the chat, keep those questions coming. And of course, here's the next one. It's like, what was the idea of forming the studio of this fan made game?
Uh, to be honest, I have decided to make a different Twitter page to gather more visibility on this project, mostly because instead of using my personal Twitter page, where I mostly post in Portuguese,
Yeah.
having a page dedicated to it allows me to gather a more specific public, a more niched public. And that's it. I have decided to make this page, the Twitter page, the Sonic Brawlers team, basically me, Douglas, and my dearest friend Amy, that's not here right now, that they are my creative consultants.
Okay.
And that's it. The Sonic Brawlers team is basically a bunch of friends working on a passion project. But yeah, that's it.
Well, that's cool. So basically, right now it's just like the Trinity, like y'all just like gather around like for meetings, like just like bouncing ideas, like things like
I
that.
op- I open Discord and I have guys. I have a new idea for the game, and that's it. Amy is gonna have this new blast attack. What do you think? And each one of them contributes with their ideas for mechanics, for moments that they would like to see in a Sonic game, not only a Sonic game, but in a beaten up game. That man, what if instead of an elevator room that is a classic in beaten up games, what if instead of an elevator we have some sort of line production area where enemies will appear every time, and you have to do something to stop the enemies being built and coming to battle. And that's it. We have a brainstorm session every day, and I take these ideas and work on them and try to turn them into reality.
Okay, see, we got some more comments in here. Like Miranda said, "That's my boy." Hey, welcome, Malka. If I said your name right, Malka Lima.
Malka Lima, that's my wife.
Oh, okay. Hey, team married.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
married, happily married.
yeah, same here. And so I'm really proud of you, Bender. Oh. And see, we also got Samurai here and said hello there. Hey, welcome to the chat. And all right, let's see. Got one from KANO. It says, what if Microsoft and Sony contact you about putting that game on their platform exclusively?
To be honest, exclusivity kills the industry.
Hmm.
Whenever you are unable to have fun because one company or other is trying to have exclusivity, this is nocive. This is poisonous to the industry. That's what big companies try to do to alienate their consumers. But that's another idea that, damn, depends how much they pay me.
Yeah, I mean, for me, like I like the things like don't like things to be limited. Yeah, if it's always exclusive to this, and they're trying to force you by this platform or that platform. But I mean, even though I got consoles, I mean, for example, because I have a PS5. I mean, I enjoy their exclusives, but when I'm on my Xbox, I play everything else like third party or playing online. The Switch, same thing as Sony's, they're exclusive, but things like that. But a PC, I play like almost like play like a lot of things, like especially like when it comes to Steam, like the sales that they have, like the indie games. I mean, I love what they dropped. So, like probably in the future, you ever think about putting things on Steam or Epic Play Store?
I understand the technical limitations of that might validate exclusivity.
Mhm.
So I might understand a game that says this is exclusive to Xbox because we can't make it run in another hardware like Switch.
Mhm.
And I also understand technical limitations like this game can't be cross-played. So players in Xbox will need to play with other players in Xbox, players in PS5. We have to play with other gamers in PS5. I understand that, but pure sheer exclusivity is toxic. It's dangerous to the whole industry because
Alright.
it kills options of the players. I mean, I live in Brazil. We almost don't have money to buy one console, and not have being unable to buy one another console because I have an Xbox but I want to play God of War.
Mhm.
Damn, God of War is an incredible game, an incredible experience that should be lived.
Mhm.
But I live in Brazil. I can't. I have an Xbox because it's cheaper, but I can't because it's a PS5 exclusive. This is not nice.
Right.
I have beat a lot of games that are exclusives watching them on YouTube because
Right.
that's the only option that I have.
Right. Um. Speaking of that, like for example, like how much are Xboxes cost down there in your country?
I will answer this without saying a objective value, but
Mm.
this costs 2.5 months of work
Okay.
full. I mean, I would need to not pay my bills for 2.5 months to be able to buy a new Xbox.
Yeah, I hear that because like reality sets in. It's like, oh man, you just I mean, you said there, like bill, like paycheck to paycheck just to get one of those. Yeah, I understand
Yeah.
the feeling. But of course, what Kano got here is like, will the gamer section get a preview of the video upcoming game Sonic Brawlers?
If you guys from Gamer Section ask me nicely, I will send you a preview of the game itself. I might send you a build for you guys to play and do your own reviews. And a preview game will sure a preview video will sure be shared as soon as it's done.
All right, cool beans. I mean, yeah, because I'd be glad to chat and try it out. Get my thoughts about it. Things
That
like
will
that.
be an honor and a pleasure.
All right. Hey, shout out to Darkest Hero. It's a very dope interview, guys. Yeah, appreciate it, bro.
Thanks.
But other than that, you said like you plan on doing DLC for Sonic Brawlers, like say like in the future.
Yeah, it's hard to call them DLCs because they will be part of the main game. There will be expansion patches.
Okay.
So a player that with the expansion one, he will have the base game already because it will be there. There won't be selectively downloadable. But yeah, I have plans for expansions like mentioned before, the mania mode.
Mhm.
The full game will also feature the arcade mode that will be non-linear. You have the whole map, and you choose which stages you want to go, and you won't be limited by 9 stages if you want to beat all 30 of them. And I'm not saying there will be 30 stages,
Mhm.
but there will be a, I can't say open world because you won't be actually navigating on it. Will be more like a stage selection,
Okay.
and there will be also smaller campaigns. For example, there is the IDW comic of Sonic that I strongly recommend for everyone. That's
Mhm.
awesome. That's incredible. IDW is doing an amazing job with with
Oh,
Sonic. And there's a new arc called Imposter Syndrome with new characters
mhm.
like Surge the Tenrak and Kit, and they are
Okay.
extremely charismatic. And if I gather a team with talented, good writers, I would be extremely interested in make a Imposter Syndrome arc that will be a separate campaign where you play a smaller, more focused story mode with that characters. And maybe in the future,
Mhm.
I would like to recreate the original games in beaten ups. What do I mean? I mean, but by having a Sonic 1 path, and you play Green Hill, and then Marble Zone, and then Labyrinth Zone in the order with the gimmicks of the original games, properly adapted to a beaten up game.
Okay, that's cool. Oh yeah, Summer. I didn't forget about you because yeah, just going off like you said about the cost. It's like yeah, it says 2.5 minimum wages. So yeah, I feel your pain down there.
That's tough.
Right. But other than that, like outside of with the presentation for brawls, whether it like be cutscenes, like like between stages or before you begin, things like that.
Uh, at first, I will have static images, cutscenes with dialogues, and on story mode, there will be always a cutscene with static images between each stage. In the arcade mode, as it's a more focused on gameplay mode, there won't be these cutscenes.
Right.
And these cutscenes won't be focused on which character you are playing with. Only the ending will check which characters each player is on and adapt itself. But yeah, there will be cutscenes. They will be simple. There will be static images.
Right.
Maybe I will use comic rips images for these cutscenes with
Okay.
adapted text, and that's it.
Okay. Did like is the music like any challenge? Funny any challenge with the music? Oh, that's basically what I'm getting at.
Currently, I'm looking for remixes of the original songs, and on YouTube, I ask the authors to use them, and that basically it. I will try to use as many as faithful to the original source of Sega games, with nice remixes, mostly of them to extend the music or to add more instruments to it or to adapt it to a better hardware because I can't
Right.
have a Game Gear Sonic 1 song running in the game with a beep, 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 beep,
Yep.
beep. And then you go and find them with nice instruments and multiple channels. And then why not?
Right.
I ask the author. If the author says yes, neat. I'll credit them and everybody gets visibility, I guess.
Well, that's cool. Always give credit where it's due. But all right. Yeah, Marcelo. Yeah, welcome. It says recreating the original game is indeed a nice idea. All right.
Thanks, thanks.
And we got a question from Darkest Hero. It says, "Any chance we get any meme characters from the Sonic verse?"
That's a really good idea, and the answer is no, there won't.
Uh,
So no Scourge, no. Come on, I gotta be honest. There are yes characters from the Sonicverse that are interesting, but most of them are tough to
right.
have in the game. Uh, Arcade mode will features a palette selection system. So there will be a green Sonic that many will assimilate as Scourge skin, but I sincerely I'm not focusing on these comic characters from RT comics mostly, and definitely not OCs.
Right. Yeah, because I'm a fan of like the LDW comics, like especially what they did with the Turtles and or yeah, GI Joe, Transformers, and things like that. So which is really
Yeah.
cool. All right, you got another question that's from Miranda and says, Bender, have you said anything about other projects of yours?
Like I mentioned before, I have Fist Squad. That's another beaten up game being main on OpenBOR, and I have a project, a bigger project, a much larger scope project that is is still in its embryonic states. That's called Cosmic Heart, and it's a 3D beaten up game being working on Unity. But as it is it's still in a very embryonic stage, there's not much that I can tell about it,
Mhm.
mostly because there's not much that I can show about it.
All right.
But yeah, there are a lot of planned projects for the future that I hope that I'll be able to accomplish.
Yeah. Seems like you have many hats going on behind the scenes, like designing the game and having the characters.
Designing the game, getting characters, balancing the game, implementing systems, gathering talentful artists,
Mhm.
try to make the game unique because may a mediocre game is doable. A good game is a challenge, but
Right.
a memorable game, a markable game, that's big, and
Right.
that's what I always try to make.
All right. It says summarize like yay, Cosmic Heart. Yeah, giving you a shout out. And Darkest Era says, yeah, thank you for your passion for the game development and keeping the classic vibes of these classic games alive.
That's part of who I am. If there is not passion in it for me, that's half of me. Of that's that.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, well like one thing like before we close out is like, like I know like using some like game devs like to throw little Easter eggs here or there, maybe from real life or something like that, some favorite things like they over the years just to throw in there for random like for those like who like to be like very detailed to catch, little things here and there. Like, do you plan on doing things like that and or you just like just keep it like it is?
Easter eggs. There's a guest character that will be secret in the game. That's a strong Easter egg, and I am completely unable to not mention other creations that I love, like Hollow Knight
Hmm.
and Doctor Who. That's a series that's very important to my heart,
Right.
and there's no way that that I could make a piece of work without them bleeding into it.
Right.
So yeah, Easter eggs may probably appear, but I'd rather not think about them
Mhm.
and simply be working in the game and there might be space for it and
Right.
put it. But yeah, Easter eggs will happen, cameos will happen.
Right. Yeah, maybe you may not have it in this game. It's like, yeah, probably down the road you probably throw it in there just for fun's sake.
Yeah, sure.
Alrighty then. Yeah, it's like I appreciate you, Bender, and like having this interview with you. Before we close out, like you want to tell anybody where they can find you at?
You can find me on Twitter, both on at Sonic Brawlers, or you can also look for me as Paulo HB Bender. That's my personal page. I'm always available for. Feel free to DM me to talk to me. And you can also look for me on YouTube as Paulo HB Bender. And that's it. I don't use many other social medias, and that's it. And
All right.
soon the Game Jolt page will be available, and I will share it everywhere I could.
All right, you hear it here, folks. Like I said, follow this man on Twitter. All the details will be right there. Like when it's ready, he'll post it. Hope y'all give it a download. Oh, but yeah, before we close out, Darkest here has one last question. It's like it says, when and where can I play these dope looking games?
For now, look for it on Game Jolt. Look for Avengers Battle United Force. That's an awesome fun game made by my tutor, my mentor in game development. And soon you also see our Game Jolt page of Sonic Brawlers.
All right. There you go, Darkest here. I just posted the website where you can go to. Yeah.
Neat.
What? Mhm.
And
All right.
I believe that's it.
Yeah. Yeah, with that being, oh, go
I'd
ahead.
like to say one final word.
Uh-huh.
Thanks so much for the opportunity of
Yeah,
being
you're welcome.
here. It's an honor and a pleasure. I was very nervous, but everything seemed to go smoothly, and I'm very happy for it. Thanks a lot.
Oh, you're welcome, man. It's been an honor of interviewing you, giving me the opportunity because, like, for me, I'm a big fan of open board games. So basically, things worked out the way it is.
Thanks.
All right, those folks. Yeah, this is Sinister, the gamer section. Hope you enjoyed this interview. Hope you dropped the likes, and stay tuned for future interviews. Well, like I said, like KANO will be the next one to go, so he'd be the one to check out. So, with that being said, well, before I close out, you can follow me on my social media. Anybody on Instagram, it's Sinister1019. On Twitter, it's Constr19, which you see on the screen. Anybody on consoles, like I'm Sinister TARHEEL on Xbox, BodyCount92 on PlayStation, and my Switch code is on my YouTube channel. I'm not going to give it out here. So. And of course, yeah, we have more Olga. She says
She
something.
said, I came at the end. In Portuguese.
Yeah. But I know a little bit of Portuguese. And of course, your wife, gave you a shout out. Says thanks for this moment. And
She's the
Boy said,
greatest, she's the greatest woman in the world, a big supporter of my work. And I couldn't be more grateful for anything in my life than this woman.
Wow. Yeah, yeah. Same with me with my wife. She's amazing. And see, Boy says great interview. Yeah, thank you. With that being said, hope y'all enjoy the rest of your night. We're out, folks.
Have a good night.